His whole crew was Bloodhound. Rell Vert was coming up, turning them streets into his own playground. Then everything collapsed soon as they kicked him to the curb. One minute he's supposed to carry the Bloodhound legacy, next minute he's completely blackballed. Real talk though, what went down? Did Vert blow his shot? Or did his own people turn their backs when times got tight? Way before them views went stupid, way before the comments started going wild, way before that Bloodhound name got tied to him, Rell Vert was just Earl Wallace, another kid from the South Side trying to navigate the jungle. Raised anywhere between 67th and 79th, dead in the cut where everything pops off. If you from Chicago, you already know that strip don't show no mercy. It'll build your backbone quick. But nah, Vert's come up wasn't straight violence from the jump. At first, he wasn't even thinking about no rap career. Ball was the vision, staying in the gym, putting in overtime, living for the court. Hit up Henry O. Tanner Elementary School, then slid through Emil G. Hirsch High School, locked in on using basketball to get him somewhere better.
Everybody else, man, you know, kid playing basketball, you know, everybody playing basketball, trying to go to the league, doing that, you know. Same with everybody, like everybody else. Hoop dreams, everybody want to hoop.
When you got a short temper and your pride sitting at max capacity, problems come looking for you, fast. Vert got booted from Emil G. Hirsch High School. Later on, Harlan Community Academy High School gave him the same treatment. By then, the writing was on the wall. The skill was obvious, but the self-control wasn't there. Then everything really flipped. His pops got locked up for a 5-year stretch. Soon as that father figure disappeared from the household, things shifted heavy. The stability vanished. The frustration grew louder. He started inhaling substances at 13, way too early, just looking for anything to quiet down whatever was brewing in his head. By the time he turned 18, it went beyond that. Substances became a regular thing in his life.
Yeah, my mama, my pops went to jail for like 5 years. It was kind of ugly, but I was back and forth. Like, even when they broke up, I had my pops.
Right. What kicked off his curiosity morphed into a crutch. He needed something different to focus on, especially with basketball no longer being his escape route. That's when music entered the picture. Vert had dreams of being a rapper for a minute. He idolized figures like Lil Wayne. In his mind, the rap game was always where he belonged.
Lil Wayne, everybody gets. So I always want to rap. That always been my dream. If I always tell myself, if this don't work, I'm gonna rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a rap. So my big brother hit that. That's another thing. My big brother hit that. My little bro. That's another reason why I want to rap.
But rap wasn't the only thing coming Vert's way. Bloodhound ended up crossing paths with him too. Or maybe he's the one who found them. To really get why getting cut off was such a massive blow, you gotta know what Bloodhound actually represents. They're not just some thrown together collective of artists. This is a family operation with history behind it. Bloodhound came together in the early 2000s when drill was first taking shape. The lineup pulls from Drill City, MTV 79, 400 East, and Chris World. What holds the core together is actual family ties. You had cousins like Q50 and Lil Jeff all linked up. So Vert starts running with these new connections, waiting for them to give him his shot and help make those rap aspirations real. Thing is, Vert wasn't naturally gifted at rapping like that. When he first jumped in, the Bloodhound crew had to help him piece together his bars.
My homies, them, like, they helped me right there. I wasn't never no rapper. I wasn't know how to rap. I ain't give a like, I'm like, I ain't know how to rap yet. So I was just saying first on, so, and I just dropped.
Vert was living his best life with his new family, but he'd left his original one behind. And when we say original, we're talking Trap City. Rell Vert came up in Trap City, a neighborhood crew that used to be cool with Bloodhound. Back in 2020 and 2021, the South Side wasn't split up like that. Vert, his close homie Trap City Tero, and Lil Jeff from Bloodhound were all locked in together. They moved the same way, avoided the same enemies, and shared the same victories. There wasn't no separation because everybody was on the same side. Vert had history with the Trap City people. We're talking a decade deep. But once the Bloodhound wave started building momentum in 2021, Vert made his decision. He stepped away from his originals to link up with Lil Jeff and Q50. For a good stretch, it seemed like the best call he could have made. From 2021 through 2023, Bloodhound couldn't be stopped. They crafted this dark, aggressive sound that the internet went crazy for. And Vert wasn't riding the bench either. He was front and center. When he released Piss Me Off and Gang It, the whole city felt that pressure. The chemistry between Lil Jeff, Q50, and Vert was incredible. They were the core trio holding down BloodHound. They stayed under the same roof, moved together, everything together. Songs like Ah Part 2 and Stretched proved Vert had what it took to blow up worldwide. But while he might have been visualizing fame and fortune, he had issues stacking up. One of those issues was Trap City Taro from that Trap City crew Vert used to roll with. Taro and Vert went way back, like before Vert even used his stage name. And according to Taro, it seemed like Vert was straddling the fence too long, like he was flip-flopping his allegiance between where he came from and where he was trying to go.
Vert, that was, I've been knowing Earl for a minute, I've been knowing folks for a long time.
His real name Earl?
Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it? Why the f you get Rell? He was playing in that for too long, lying to us like he went with my, this your best friend. You lying to us, and we your real homies. You don't even know dude. You met dude in 2020.
Like every gang beef in Chicago, it was only a matter of time before something sparked tension between BloodHound and Trap City, especially with everybody knowing each other from way back. This time around, the conflict ignited over some jewelry. Based on what Taro and other Trap City members say, Lil Jeff got a chain off a Trap City guy named Carter, then came back claiming he'd lost it during some wild police pursuit. To sell the story, him and Q50 even ripped up his shirt trying to make it look like they've been through some chaos or a struggle. But word is, Jeff actually flipped the chain for cash.
So, okay, the Bloodhounds, y'all was cool.
That
was my homie.
He stole the chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my own chain.
Who was that South Jazz?
Nah, bro. One of the other guys.
This one of the other, this other one.
I was letting him wear the J. He come back like he got into a house when he was 12. Man, saying he lost it. You know what I'm saying?
Jeff never being one to care about consequences, it wasn't surprising when footage surfaced online showing him wearing that supposed lost chain. Lil Jeff's deception didn't go unanswered though. It kicked off a chain reaction that put people in the ground. Taking a chain from an opposing crew was guaranteed to bring retaliation, and the first casualty ended up being Z Money, a BloodHound artist and family to Q50 and Jeff. After Z Money got killed in March 2023, any friendship between Drill City and Trap City died with him. Lil Jeff went off on social media talking about organizing shootings. Even though Vert originally came from Trap City, he decided to go all in with BloodHound. He stuck by Jeff's side as things escalated, but eventually showed hints of nostalgia for his roots during a conversation with Jeff that leaked online. In that phone call, you could hear Vert expressing how much he missed the neighborhood where he came up. June 2024 marked the end of an era for BloodHound. Vert lost someone close. BloodHound lost their core member. That's because Lil Jeff, the driving force behind everything they built, got shot and killed outside Trap City Rob's grandmother's place. Streets say Jeff was out there trying to handle something and got caught slipping. Once Jeff was gone, things spiraled fast for Vert. Didn't help that speculation started circulating online suggesting he might have been present when Jeff got killed. But most of that seemed like internet conspiracy theories. At the same time, Trap City Taro, who used to be tight with Lil Jeff back in the day, went online again, calling Vert out, labeling him disloyal and someone who'd eventually betray his own people. Taro was convinced BloodHound would eventually see Rell Vert's true colors.
Sending me about this goofy little boy, gang. Oh, goofy gang. Talking about 67, 83. Like, stop that, gang. Oh, my dead brother. You know what's going on. Your I always been a goofy gang. You just play in the middle for so. You were just finna. Oh, my dead. You was finna backdoor straight in the falls, gang. Your ass is a goofy gang. Marcus Grave, folks. Goofy little boy. Oh, the world just think so much about you, child. This game, your own homie just told me about you, gang. I ain't gonna. Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing because I said keep between me and him. So I ain't gonna say nothing. Just all I know, look, your homies know you are goofy, and they know your ain't right. Once the world found out who you really is, gang, they not gonna like you, gang. No,
it didn't take long for Taro's words to prove prophetic. Just recently, a private phone call got exposed online. In that recording, Vert wasn't just complaining, he was saying wild stuff. After that leaked conversation came out putting Vert on blast, Opinions split down the middle on whether Rell Vert's a rat or if he's solid. Some people think Trap City Taro had it figured out from the beginning. The opposing viewpoint centers around Lil Jeff. In certain circles, Jeff was considered the real enforcer for BloodHound, the force that kept everything tight and functioning. When he was alive, operations ran a specific way. Since his death, people feel like the whole dynamic shifted. And caught up in all this speculation, folks are questioning where Vert's loyalties actually lie. Some are suggesting that even though he's technically still affiliated with BloodHound, things might look different internally. Not completely accepted, not completely relied on, just existing in this gray area. So one camp is saying Taro warned everyone. The other camp points to Jeff being the foundation, and Vert keeps getting dragged into both discussions. He's stuck in this uncomfortable position where neither group he's connected to has full confidence in him. The leaked phone call didn't just stir up controversy, it completely shifted how people viewed everything that happened leading up to this moment. When that audio hit the internet, it spread like wildfire across every platform imaginable. People were dissecting every single word Vert said, replaying sections over and over, trying to piece together what his true intentions were. The conversation wasn't just casual talk either. It revealed layers of frustration, anger, and confusion that painted a picture nobody expected to see. What made the situation even more complicated was the timing of it all. This wasn't happening during some random period. This came right after BloodHound had already been dealing with massive internal struggles following Lil Jeff's death. The crew was already vulnerable, already trying to figure out how to move forward without their most vital piece. And then this recording surfaces, adding fuel to a fire that was already burning out of control. The streets started picking sides immediately. It wasn't a gradual thing. Opinions formed fast and hard. One faction was absolutely convinced that Trap City Taro had been speaking truth from day one. They pointed back to all those times Taro called Vert out publicly, all those warnings about his loyalty being questionable, about him playing both sides for too long. To them, this leak call was the ultimate validation. They felt vindicated, like they'd been seeing the signs all along, while everyone else was too blind or too loyal to notice. These people started pulling up old clips, old posts, old moments where Vert's behavior seemed suspicious in hindsight. They constructed entire timelines showing what they believed was a pattern of disloyalty. On the flip side, another group took a completely different perspective on the whole situation. To them, this wasn't about Vert being fake or disloyal. This was about BloodHound fundamentally changing after losing their anchor. They kept circling back to Lil Jeff and what he represented for the crew. In their view, Jeff wasn't just another member, he was the soul of the operation. He was the one who set the tone, who commanded respect not just from his own people, but from rivals too. When Jeff walked into a room, the energy shifted. When he spoke, people listened. When he made decisions, they got executed without question. These supporters argued that Jeff's presence created a specific culture within BloodHound. There was structure, there was direction, there was accountability. Everyone knew their role and played their position because Jeff made sure of it. He was the glue holding together all these different personalities and egos. He mediated conflicts before they escalated. He kept everyone focused on the bigger picture instead of getting caught up in petty drama. And most importantly, he vouched for people, including Vert. When Jeff co-signed someone, that meant something. It carried weight. It gave that person legitimacy within the crew. But once Jeff was gone, that entire dynamic collapsed. Without that central authority figure, BloodHound became fragmented. Different members started operating on their own wavelengths. Trust issues that Jeff would have squashed immediately started festering and growing. Decisions that used to be made collectively became chaotic and inconsistent. The unity that defined BloodHound during their peak years started crumbling. And in that power vacuum, someone like Vert, who already had a complicated history, became an easy target for suspicion. This camp believed Vert was being scapegoated for problems that went way deeper than one person. They saw him as someone caught in an impossible situation, trying to navigate a crew that no longer had clear leadership or structure. To them, the leaked phone call wasn't evidence of betrayal. It was evidence of frustration from someone who felt abandoned and misunderstood. They interpreted his words as venting from a place of genuine pain, not scheming from a place of deception. And right in the center of these two completely opposing narratives sat Vert himself, dealing with the fallout from all angles. His name became the focal point of every argument, every debate, every heated discussion about loyalty and legacy. People who'd never even met him felt entitled to judge his character based on fragmented information and biased interpretations. Social media turned into a courtroom where he was simultaneously the defendant and the evidence, with strangers playing judge and jury. The reality of Vert's position was incredibly complex and nuanced in ways that most outside observers couldn't fully grasp. He existed in this strange liminal space where he technically still had ties to BloodHound, but those ties felt increasingly fragile and conditional. There were no formal announcements of him being kicked out or removed, yet the energy around him changed dramatically. People within the crew started keeping distance. Collaborations that used to happen naturally stopped materializing. Invitations to sessions or events became less frequent or stopped entirely. Behind closed doors, conversations were happening that Vert wasn't part of anymore. Decisions were being made without his input. Plans were being formed that deliberately excluded him.
It wasn't always overt or confrontational. Sometimes exclusion is subtle, operating through silence and absence rather than direct conflict. But the message was clear enough. He wasn't fully trusted anymore, wasn't fully embraced as one of them. Meanwhile, his original ties to Trap City complicated everything even further. He couldn't exactly go back to where he came from, not after everything that transpired, not after choosing BloodHound over them years ago, not after the violence that erupted between the two groups. Trap City members like Tero had made their feelings abundantly clear. They saw Vert as someone who turned his back on them when it was convenient, who prioritized new connections over decade-long relationships, who only seemed to remember his roots when his new situation got rocky. So Vert found himself in this terrible middle ground where neither side fully claimed him. BloodHound questioned his loyalty because of where he came from and how recent events unfolded. Trap City rejected him because of choices he made years ago that they viewed as ultimate betrayal. He became a man without a real home base, caught between two worlds that both viewed him with suspicion and resentment. This dynamic created a dangerous reality for someone living that street lifestyle. When you're not clearly aligned with a protective group, when people question where you stand, that vulnerability can have serious consequences. Protection becomes uncertain. Support systems become unreliable. The safety that comes from being part of a tight-knit crew evaporates, and in an environment where tensions run high and violence erupts quickly, being in that gray area puts you at significant risk from multiple directions.